Welcome back to another episode of That Backyard Property Pod. We're here today for another mini episode. This one's going to be short, sharp, and really informative. We are looking at maternity leave or parental leave and getting a home loan while you're either on that or you're preparing to have a kid and you want to know the details on whether you can still get a loan. It's such a common question that anyone that's on parental leave or about to have a kid, can I still get a home loan? Yes, of course you can. What we're looking at here is if you are on maternity leave or parental leave at the moment, let's focus on that for now. So when the banks are assessing your home loan application, if you have a return to work letter that states the following, whether you're returning on full-time or part-time, the income you're returning on, the date that you are returning, as long as the return to work letter states those, the bank will use the full income listed on that letter. So when we're preparing the numbers, we're looking at the partner's income, if there is a partner, plus the return to work income that's listed on the letter. And that is what the bank will use for an application. You don't need to return to work. So for example, if you are returning to work in 3 months' time, what the bank wants to know is, do you have enough savings to bridge the gap of your expenses and repayments between now and 3 months' time when you return to work? It's really, really important. So you do need some savings in place and on hand to be able to cover or to show that you can cover that gap between the settlement of a property and the return to work date. If that is the case, then they will use your full return to work income. Now, if you are planning on having kids or you're about to have kids, remember the banks can't ask any detailed personal questions around this. So you need to be really comfortable when you're planning the level of debt that you're about to take out on a home loan. You need to be comfortable that you can cover that on the wage that you're on or the wage your partner's on, and then the government parental income or whatever it might be. So the planning is so crucial. Can you get a home loan before having a child? Absolutely, yes you can, but make sure you are so comfortable with what the repayments will be, because they are ongoing and the banks will not stop charging those repayments. So be comfortable with that. So covering it all off, can you get a loan whilst you are on maternity leave or parental leave? The answer is absolutely yes, but you need a return to work letter. If you are self-employed, the bank will use your last tax return that has been completed, and they'll use the income from that. So I've had a number of, especially mums that are self-employed and they've had a child. What we can use is your last tax return for the purposes of the application, and the banks will take that full income. So if your last tax return was quite strong, as a self-employed applicant, this is probably one of the benefits. We can still use that income. So for anyone out there that is having a kid, has had a kid, or thinking of had a kid, yes, you can definitely get a home loan. Do not shy away from it if you're wanting to do something in that vicinity or that area. We had one today submitted. They're returning to work in April, so we need to prove that they've got savings from October until April. So we need 6 months of savings. That is in place. Application is approved and away we go. So anyone in that position, please do not feel dejected. You can definitely do this. Reach out if you have any questions or if you are in that position. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. The community is growing and it is so cool to be a part of that. And I'd love it to grow even further to help more and more people. Thanks again for listening. This is another mini. Cannot wait to see you again next Tuesday for one of our longer forms. Until then, have a wonderful weekend.